Alright guys, what's up AP family? We are back with another episode. As y'all saw in the previous video, that was the Speakeasy investigation. This next video takes place before the Speakeasy investigation. This happened on the early morning of the night after our investigation at the Monroe house. So me and Brent went over there to meet with Dan Allen, the president of Saving the Old Properties. We were first let in by Chris. He works there, does work at the jail. He is also a paranormal investigator. He gave us the keys to get in. These keys were the key to the jail and to the speakeasy. So me and Brent walked around for a little bit. Then we left. Went back to the house. Walked back over to the Monroe house, and talked with everybody and stuff. And they said that Dan's running a little late. He should be over there by this time. So we all hung out for a little bit and then headed back over to the jail to meet with Dan Allen. So Dan comes in, he lets us in, we talk for a little bit and everything like that, and then we got everything set up in the main hall of the jail cells. Now this video, it's possibly the most controversial video that I have posted on this channel since it's been up and running since 2021 of January. So there's some few things happening in this video. I have sent clips of this video to 3 people. All 3 got back with me, saying that they really can't figure out what's going on. I talked to Chris about it. He actually went to the jail with his girlfriend. He was on the phone with me when he'd made this phone call to me. And he asked me where we were. Were we the only people in the building? I said yes, it was just me, Dan, and Brent. And in this video, I am on the far left. Brent's standing on the far right. Camera's facing towards Dan, and I'm behind my camera on the left. I had Dan in frame when I set this camera up, guys, and I could see the screen, the camera screen. I hit record, and we start talking. I didn't realize what was going on until I went back and reviewed the video. So like I said, Chris tried to recreate this with his girlfriend while he was on the phone with me. They couldn't do it. Lisa Potts of WTFWT, she was there with us at the jail that night. She was also with us. She was with us on this whole investigation with her team these 2 days. I sent her clips of it, and she said that her speculation, it was something from the house that was causing this to happen. My thoughts are it's James Barrett, I believe was his name, an inmate at the jail that was causing this to happen. He took his own life in his jail cell because he was scared that he was going to have to snitch on his friends, and he didn't want to do that and face the repercussions of what would happen if he got out of jail. So those are the 2 thoughts, guys. Or maybe it's just something at the jail that decided to cause this to happen. So guys, this is the interview with Dan Allen, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, guys, you see my hand come out on the side like this on the camera, and you see it kind of come down like this. You see me fan my arm out like this while I'm talking. So it shows I did not move my position, because me and Brent were both extremely tired this morning. So we were running on coffee and maybe 5 hours of sleep, and we had to go the whole day. So I did not move. I was not moving back and forth. I was not moving at all. I asked Brent. He said, no, you were staying put where you were, just leaning up against the jail cell. It's kind of like this, against the jail cell. And Brent was the same way on his side. He was just leaning like that on his side. And we were not moving. So I want you guys to pay attention to what's going on in this video. There is a mirror outside the jail cell behind Dan's head. And you can see where Dan's head is in this mirror if you pay very close attention. But something just isn't right. Something's not right at all. And I have been very skeptical about putting this video out for the negative feedback that this video could get. But like I said, Chris tried to analyze the clips, and he couldn't make it out. He's trying to figure out what's going on here. Anyways, guys, So this is an interview with Dan Allen. Sorry guys, I got off on a little bit of a tangent. I usually do on these videos. But this is the interview with Dan Allen, the president of the Saving the Old Properties. He is the president of Stone Mansion, Randolph County Asylum, the old Blackford County Jail, the school that they're getting, and now they have a church. So they have 5 locations, guys. And if you guys are interested in checking out their properties, go on to, you can find them on Facebook, or I think if you Google the old Blackford County Jail, Randolph County Asylum, the old, okay, hold on a second. The old Blackford County Jail, Randolph County Asylum, the old Stone Mansion, I can't remember the name of the school, and then there's a church. But if you guys go on there, you will look up those names and you'll see them. Give them a call, guys, or reserve your reservations. I will vouch for all these properties. I've been to all 3, except for the church and the school. Very awesome locations. A lot, I mean a lot of history in these locations that it's mind-blowing, guys. And the architecture inside is literally still the same. So it's like you're stepping back in time when you go into these properties, and it is so incredible. It really draws you in and immerses you in that property, and the spirits will still reside there. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop ranting and raving. Sorry, I just got off work and I'm shooting this video. So guys, if you guys are new to this channel, please keep your comments respectful in the comment section down below for our community, please. We are open to everybody's input, everybody's opinion, and everybody's take on everything, okay? But keep your comments respectful in our community. Also, guys, if you're new to this channel, hit that like button, drop a comment. It really helps with our algorithm. It really would help us out a lot too if you give our YouTube channel a chance, and hit that subscribe button, guys. Anyways, I have an update video coming up very soon. We are in the process of getting some more episodes filmed for the Halloween season, so we do have some stuff coming out. I'm just trying to get these videos out of the way, and we're trying to sandbag videos to start dropping after these guys. So it's been really hectic, extremely hectic. So guys, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and as we say, stay spooky, stay blessed, and stay safe, and we will see you on the other side. Peace. Guys, we are back. We are here with Dan Allen, the owner of the Saving the Old Properties. He is the owner of... President. Okay, the president of the Saving the Old Properties. As you can see on his shirt, president right there. Stop. And he owns Randolph County Asylum, the old Stone Mansion, the Blackford County Jail that we're in right now, and what's the other one that you got now? The church?
Speakeasy.
The Speakeasy.
The school and church.
Yes.
Yeah. So church.
Yes, that's the newest one.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go there. So Dan, what got you into Saving the Old Properties?
Well, seeing all these old beautiful places getting tore down, and then the jail came up for bid and silent auction, and so many people wanted it just for a parking lot back when things were a lot better here. So gosh, I don't think you can get more than about 20 cars on, where this was.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to tear it down, and the building was built in 1876. Had Dillinger in here, but not as a prisoner, and just, all this history, and they just wanted to tear it down for parking. So my brother put in a bid, and out of 11 people, we were second. And the guy that won the bid said, I don't care about the place, I just want the generator in the basement.
Wow.
So we said, pull your bid, we'll give you the generator. So he pulled his bid. We gave him the generator. So then we thought, we saved the place. So my brother moves into it and lives where the sheriff used to. You probably saw up front there. And then I joined, and this is in '96, so
okay.
The place, went until '95, ran from 1877 to 1995, and then sat empty for a year. My brother bought it, we bought it in '96. Then I moved back to Indiana to help out in 2000, and what are we going to do with the place? Well, maybe we'll turn it into a museum or something to help create,
right,
to keep it fixed up. And 2 years later, almost to the day, things just went crazy. Never thought of it being haunted or anything for 2 years. And one night, just laying in bed, light still on, I just laid down, the light was still on next to me, in walks this huge guy at 1:30 in the morning into my room, like he owned the place. Just walked straight in, didn't even look down at me, I'd be to his left. And the boards wasn't popping or cracking, something just didn't seem right. And, because a guy that big, you should be able to hear every step. And he just stops at the foot of my bed, turns around, bows ever so slightly and looks right at me with his sparkly blue-gray eyes. And, but he wasn't transparent, he wasn't anything, but I knew he wasn't real about the third step because he didn't make a sound.
Wow.
So then, about 2 seconds later, gave me this most beautiful, tranquil smile. And I realized whatever it was wasn't there to hurt me.
Well, that's good.
And so we stared at each other for about, who knows how long. I'm thinking 20 seconds or so.
Yeah.
And he stands back up, walks out, again, not looking down at me, walking out, I'll be on the right. And I didn't know what to do. Should I try to touch him? Should I say something? I mean, everybody said, well, I would have done this. Well, yeah, right, put you in that situation, you know, froze too. But anyway, so then when he did walk out, I looked, he was gone.
Wow.
Now I'm the crazy guy that lives in the jail, the one that sees the ghosts. So I didn't tell anybody. This is very conservative area here. I didn't tell anybody. But about 2 years later, I graduated with a guy who knew pretty much everything about this town. And so finally I talked to him and described the guy. And he goes, well, it sounds like Ed Townsend. Who's Ed Townsend? You know, the sheriff that died downstairs in your office.
What?
Yeah. And he'll show me a picture, and he came back about 2 weeks. Oh yeah, that was Ed.
Wow.
The guy I saw had a white t-shirt and dark pants. The guy he showed me had the full uniform on. It was his uniform picture. Had the octagon hat and, you know, the old style. But the face is burned into my brain. So he said he raised 2 nieces. One he totally raised, who lives half an hour away. One he practically raised, which works right across the street, that direction. And so, right after he showed me the picture, I ran over there and told her. And she goes, no, how did you know all this stuff? And I said, well, it's what I saw. He goes, but Uncle Ed always wore a white t-shirt and dark pants and had these sparkly blue-green. Described it to a T. About the time of his death, apparently. Because it looked like he was in his late 50s, I'm guessing. But yeah, beautiful smile. He was a gentle giant, but big enough that if he barked, people listened. Right. So, anyway, so every time she'd see me after that, say, hi to Uncle Ed for me, and I say, you tell him. So, about 9 years after, she finally came in, and her husband was videotaping her. Well, she sits on my bed, leaning back, since I saw him in my room, half wanting to see him and half not wanting to see him. When she says, Uncle Ed, are you here? And about 2 seconds later, her eyes got this big. And she goes, I gotta go, and just bolted out. Wow. And her husband with his cell phone goes, so, anyway, 9 years later, instead of working a half a block this direction, she works a half a block that direction. Small town. And I went over there, and without her saying a word, she goes, I didn't mean to run out on you like that, but when I said, Uncle Ed, are you here? When she's leaning back, she felt on her hand. Oh. Now, if Uncle Ed would have appeared, we probably would have all joined him. We probably all died of heart attacks right then and there. Yeah. So I think it was a way for him to reassure, but yet not scare her to death. Right. So 9 years later, that's the only other time I know of Uncle Ed being here, of Ed Townsend being here because I haven't seen him since. So, but
you think maybe he crossed over after that, maybe, or?
I don't know. You know, I overthink everything.
Right.
That's why I got 5 pounds.
Okay.
But to call something a ghost is too simplified.
Mm-hmm.
If we're dealing in another dimension, because two of the smartest people who ever lived both say time is linear. Otherwise, people that come back on the space shuttle and stuff like that, their atomic clocks were off almost a second.
Yeah.
Well, they can't be a part of us if that's the case. So time isn't linear. And so maybe Ed's here right now doing what he normally does in his dimension. So who knows? There's a plethora of reasons, and I really hope nobody finds out in my lifetime that take all the fun out of it. So anyway, that's how we got into it. Then word got out about, well, that may be so crazy after all, then word got out and people came to us and said, can we hunt this place? Like, well, no, we got antiques and stuff, so we'll pay you. Okay. So instead of making a museum, we're making it a historical site. Now, come and do what you want. You want to try to look for ghosts, birthday party, whatever. So we're open to everything. You know, I can't say I'm a believer in ghosts, but I did see, I do hear, I see it. After Ed did that thing, the whole floodgates opened. I've seen so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote them all down, time, date, everything, but come up missing one day. Used to always put it on the wall, and so it's too bad. I mean, I had all those.
Yeah.
And before, when your computer crashed, you lost everything. There wasn't any external memory, because we had hard-soled shoes walking around here and all this neat stuff that, you know, I mean, blame it on different dimension, blame it on ghosts, blame it on who knows.
Yeah.
And with all these ghost equipment coming out, I even have a friend in Indy, Ghost, I have to remember, ghostequipment.com or something. Anyway, this guy's taking it up several levels. He's an engineering.
Oh, wow.
And he's two electrical engineers, one for like programming, the other for electrical engineering. He was programming computers in the 60s. I had no idea you could do that. So anyway, he's coming up with stuff. He goes, will they have anything look through walls? So he's got stuff looking through walls. He goes, I mean, you know see, I don't ghost hunt much, where it goes green to red and...
Oh, the K2 meters?
K2 meters.
Yeah.
So is that positive or negative energy?
See, I never thought about that.
No, he did. So he's got a meter that shows a positive or negative. What are you picking up? Are you picking up a 60 hertz signal? Or are you picking up something higher than 60 hertz?
I never really thought about it.
Exactly. He's taking it up a bunch. And anyway, ghost equipment. I better get the address right. So, but he's. Oh, that's nice. My wallet's gone. Anyway, so he's taking it up quite a bit, and one of these days I'm afraid they're going to just, and the guy jumps out and goes, finally you figured it out. But we were at the Stone Mansion, and we got a 3,000, I think 3,000 or 300, I think 3,000 hertz signal, and it just stayed in one spot. It was up second floor. It just stayed there. So what would be 3,000 hertz? I had no idea.
Yeah.
So after we kind of walked around some more, said, let's go generate a 3,000 hertz. So with this thing, we generated 3,000 hertz and went up and see if we could amplify it or whatever, but it didn't help. So anyway, I'd have been on to something. But yeah, even the Hertz, smooth wave, he goes, well, do you want sawtooth? Do you want digital? What kind of Hertz do you want? It's like,
that's like,
he's taking it up quite a bit.
yeah.
So, it'll be fun and we investigated once with a group at the mansion, and using his stuff. The Foreman brothers.
Yeah, they're good people.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was the guy that invented it, if you saw when they were
Yeah,
there.
I did see that weird wrist thing that Sean was wearing or something that would test his pulse and.
Yeah, the truth, it tells the truth.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all that stuff he came up with, so.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. That's how I found out about you guys, was through the Foreman Bros, watching their videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the one they did here?
I have not watched. I wanted to wait because I didn't want to ruin.
Okay.
Just in case if I ever came, But I watched the one with Randolph County when they went there. I was like, that would look really cool. And then I Googled Randolph County Asylum on Google, and it popped up under you guys. And so I called the number, and that's how I met Kate.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't know about us till then.
Exactly. And that's how I found out about the Monroe House, was through Living Dead Paranormal.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
I thought we were more out there than that. Yeah. Marketing.
But their stuff is what I watch when I want to go somewhere. I tune into their YouTube channel because they're legit people. They're believable, and that's how I found out about you guys and Monroe House, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I think they were one of the first ones to come here.
Yeah.
In fact, they're the first one that had a rock thrown at them in the basement, and they had I think his name was Greg. He was a family friend that did all the filming, and but then I don't know, he moved or something, I forget, but yeah, and he was kind of a shy, backwards, he wasn't life of the party, I guess you would say. When he got hit with that rock, the obscenities he shouted was incredible. It's like, that came out of you? And he goes, man, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. I said, if you hadn't have, I wouldn't have believed you. Because you can hear that thing hit him and then bounce off 2 more walls after that, hit him so hard.
Wow.
But it hit him right there in the cheek.
Yeah, I think some words that would have come out of my mouth would have.
Yeah. Like I said, if it was, wow, a rock hit me in the face, well, no. Yeah, so, anyway, yeah, I mean, just, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to tune in after we're done here tonight. Tomorrow when I get on, we'll definitely get on there. I think they were here with Paranormal Quest, weren't they? When they came in, because I know Paranormal Quest came here.
So many things happen. I don't remember what dates and stuff. So.
Yeah.
But I need to have them come back. Yeah, because the girls got bitten here, and I was videoing the whole time because the lights were the dueling flashlights, I call them. It was spot on. It's like nobody's recording this, and all of a sudden, this girl goes, "Anybody have a flashlight?" Because her flashlight wouldn't work, and we just walked into the basement 40 minutes earlier. The next 3 flashlights came to her, didn't work either, and we just walked in 40 minutes earlier. Somebody's cell phone light worked. So, and she had a big bite mark right there. I'm gonna be posting that online, but I went right from there down to the bite marks, took a bunch of pictures, then right back up and measured her mouth, and there's no way she could have done it. So.
How did you get into Randolph County Asylum?
Well, driving by the building, slowly started seeing it get worse and worse shape. Now the county tried to save it as long as possible. They had people throwing business plans at them and stuff, apartments, stuff that we don't like to do. Why we save the old property,
right?
We save the inside too. Well, they didn't want to see it turned into apartments. I think some guy wanted to do a junk shop or secondhand store, I guess. And somebody wanted to build furniture. No, and so I called one of the county commissioners, and he said, well, if you have a business plan and some cash, come talk to us. So I did, and they said, what do you want to do? And I said, nothing. I want to leave it as is. I want to leave it inside the same, and we'll keep it from falling down. Keep the roof board.
Yeah.
And deterioration. And they said, well, what do you want to do with it? I said, just let people come in and do what they want. And I told them what we're doing in Hartford. And they said, okay, you keep it looking good and don't make it look like a haunted house.
Right.
Yeah.
That building's beautiful.
Yeah, we said, yeah, exactly. We wanted to make it look like, so, and they still appreciate what we've done, because it's brought people into town, staying in motels, restaurants, and gas stations and such. And so, and we were all of us were ex-business owners, one form or another, so we only deal with local business when possible. So we got all the food places on the counters when you go in that are local. Yeah. So we realize the value of local business, because they don't take the money elsewhere. So then it just kind of evolved into S.T.O.P. So Saving the Old Properties. Now we're 501c3 now. When we fix these places up, we don't, it's all money we get. And so money's coming in, donations, we can even, if we need roofing material, something, anything, people donate to us, appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're on Patreon, but I'm a lousy marketer. And I know I need to get somebody on it. But 5 patents and sold 1. So it's 1% idea, 99% marketing, everything. And this is a good example of it. You didn't even know about us, so.
Yeah.
I know. So anyway, after the asylum, that worked as well. So we looked at getting some other places. It was, like I say, the old church in Center. It's the only thing in Center, Indiana, just in church. And the rest of town is just falling away.
Really?
And the church is still there, and just, that thing built the last 100 years. There was a tornado that came by, took down a house almost right across the street from it. Some kind of CAFO or hog or turkeys or something, tore it all up and didn't do a thing to that place. So, and when we bought it, the guy goes, "Don't tear it down." I said, "No, we don't plan to." He goes, "Well, other people want to buy it to extend the graveyard. It's still an active graveyard out back, and so they wanted to buy it to extend the graveyard." Well, most people went through the graveyard, went through the church anyway, so.
Right. That's
still their history. But luckily, one of the farmer sold them an acre behind, so they're not, trying to push anybody to tear it down now. But that thing was built in the 1880s and solid as a rock.
Yeah, that's another site we've been talking about going to check out.
Okay.
More likely next year. So, and I was wondering, so Stone Mansion, what about that one? Because I know that mansion is old.
Yes, that was built. Well, the General Stone.
Yes.
That's why it's Stone Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
You look up Stone Mansion, you'll find hundreds of them, because a mansion made out of stone is Stone Mansion. Well,
I had an experience with him. I'll never forget it.
Oh, really? But I've never seen it.
It wasn't on camera. I'll tell you real quick, and I'll let you tell your story about how you got there. So we were there. Well, you weren't with us on this. I think it was August. We were there because we did Randolph County again, and we did Stone Mansion. Me and 2 of my teammates at the time were there, and this was last year. And so I had my camera, had gone upstairs to do some filming by myself, and went into his room because I did an Estes method in his room.
Mm-hmm. Got
REM pod activity right in front of me. I could hear pacing on the hardwood floors back and forth in front of me, and then it's like there was somebody standing next to me, just kind of. It felt like their arms were crossed, and they're just in there, just tapping their foot on the ground.
In my room?
Yeah, and I kept getting the voice of the spirit box kept saying, "Leave me be."
Ah.
And it kept saying that repeatedly, and so finally we wrapped it up, and we went downstairs, and I was like, "Wait, where's my camera?" I was like, "Where's my camera and my tripod?" So I go around looking around, and I was like, "Crap, did I leave it upstairs in his room?" And so I went upstairs, walked around the corner to his room. I was like, "Mr. Stone," I forgot to call him General Stone. I was like, "Mr. Stone, I'm just coming in here." I peeked in there, looked in his room. Okay, it's not there. So I go back. As I'm going down the stairs that you know how when you come through the side, you got that big room with the tables and stuff,
Yeah.
and then there's that staircase that goes up.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming down those stairs, and those stairs creak really bad. So I'm walking down, and they're creaking. Well, then behind me, I hear creak, creak, creak. And I'm like, I stop, I turn around, and I'm like, okay. Go down a few more steps, and I hear creak, creak, creak. And I stop, and I'm like, okay, is that me? So I kind of like rock back and forth. I make sure that the wood, that the steps aren't buckling, and then as the weight, so I'm not trying to make myself think that something's coming down after me. So I get down to the one landing before you go up and around the corner. And I stand on the landing, and I stop, I turn, and I look up. And then all of a sudden I hear, dum, 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 like that, like somebody comes stomping down the stairs at me. And I'm like, holy shit. I come around that corner, I grab both sides of the wall.
Ran?
Dude, I mean, he was coming down at me. And I put both hands on the sides of the wall, and my feet were just kicking out. That door was closed. I came barging through that door. Lisa from WTFWT, she had just come walking by, and the timing was perfect because that door would have smacked her right in the face, but she had cleared the door, and I came barging out there, and I'm stopped, and I bent over. It scared me so bad I about puked. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, that man up there at the stairs. She's like, oh, General Asheville Stone. I was like, yeah. She's like, well, what happened? I was like, went there to see where my camera and tripod was, checked his room again, and she's like, well, he kept saying leave me be, so maybe he didn't want you up on this floor. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going up there again. I was like,
Did she hear the footsteps too?
No.
She didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, I guess he just didn't, he wanted me to stay at, because you know how he's a personable guy. He's very secluded. He didn't want to be bothered.
Right.
You know, that's why he decorated the mansion, built the mansion the way he was, the way he did. So that's the one encounter I had with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who else that could have been.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, leave me be in his room pacing, because even Kate said she saw him pacing back and forth across the street.
Yeah, I mean, Stone Mansion, I loved it. The history and the architecture of that building is, I mean, it's like you're literally stepping back in time when you go in there.
Yeah, right. And the asylum and the jail, like here where we lived, we're going to take all that out, carpet everything, and put in candlestick phones versus a cordless phones, and Remington typewriters instead of a keypad, and try to make it look more 19th or 19th century.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the phones that you had when we were me and him were just walking through checking everything. I was like, dude, this is like insane.
Yeah, we just got to get all the new stuff out. Good, we lived here for, 20 years. Yeah. One of us, me or my brother at the time, so, yeah. But yeah, all the stuff that happened to us, I mean, I've had, the most thing I think I've had physically is a rug thrown at me. Those heavy rugs, when you walk in the side door, how try to pick them up, they're commercial grade rubber, heavy rubber back. One curled up like a snake and then jumped at me, hit me right below the knees at 5:05 in the afternoon.
Oh, wow.
And then right when I looked down, this white streak just went right out the door right beside me to the left. And it's just a streak. I had no idea what it was. So. I mean, it's not like it's, I know you think, who's my supplier, right? Do you want something? No, I didn't do that stuff. And, but if somebody says, oh, this happened, it makes logical sense like they do on movies. Yeah. I don't believe it. I mean, I tend not to. Something that's just so weird that happens, like, those are the ones that I find really fascinating anyway, you know. But if things fall into place, that's very unique. Yeah. And if it's just weird, things happen, got my attention. Yeah. Why did that happen?
I don't know.
I still can't explain.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
Yeah. And I did have a person almost form in front of me in the living room, or over there outside the kitchen, and Yeah, a shoe was on the floor at 1:30 in the morning. It's a woman's shoe, an old shoe. Like, what's that doing there? So, took a step towards it. White silk stocking started forming out of it in a clockwork pattern, and it was just as white as could be. And then got up about so high, and it got into this beautiful, intricate lace. Didn't slow it down at all, just kept going. And it got up about so tall, and it was in a woman's shape of a leg. Granted, it was like an old stout Russian woman leg, but nonetheless, and when it got to the top, where it does like a, I don't know, lacy, where it does a U shape, when it was done with that, the sock just fell right down on the shoe. The shoe took off with the sock flapping behind it. The sock only got just a little brighter. No noise again. Slid right underneath the door, and if you close the door, there's about that much gap underneath it. It just slid right underneath the door. So.
Wow, man, it's like in when they show themselves to you, they do. It's we can't explain why they, how they appear to people, and I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff in my 4 years of doing this, and so has he. And there's stuff that we just can't explain. Like he'll see something or hear something, or I'll see something or hear something. And he's like, they do whatever they want, however they want to. It's like you said. There's no logical explanation for it. It's just it's one of those things, like you said, the linear stuff. You know, the alternate dimension type deal. It's all like that.
Exactly. Now, is it all in my head? Somebody sitting there, would they have seen it too? Nobody knows that.
Exactly. That's how I was trying to word it. Yeah.
But one night after I had my $400 van stolen, the guy was, I guess he stole it, was running drugs to the East Coast and back. And I said, he'd just gotten out of jail. I didn't know he was doing it at the time. He said he was borrowing it to do a job. And he said, I told so-and-so I was borrowing it. No, he didn't. Well, the key wasn't in it. It was in my friend's house, so that means Grand Theft Auto. And for $400. And so he was still, they got him for the drugs. So they just hadn't picked him up yet. They were trying to find him. And then and I told him, I said, bring it back, and I didn't know about the drugs. Bring it back or I'll call the cops. Well, I gave him 5 chances. He never did, so I called the cops. And then I found out about what he was doing with it. When we got the van back, it was, down to 1 seat. Everything else was, so I could haul more or something, sleep in it. It smelled terrible. So, I thought, this guy, he'll probably try to come get me before he goes to jail for private life. So I slept with a loaded 45 next to me. I just knew this guy, and I thought, the type of person that do that. And I'd never even thought of ever killing anybody, though some people wonder why I don't, from my past, but it just doesn't come to mind. And I didn't want to kill him either. I didn't go after him, nothing like that. No reason to, for one thing. But I thought he might come after me. So one night I heard the cats playing downstairs, heard a thud. Well, I heard a thud and I thought the cats were playing downstairs. And then I heard somebody walking up the stairs, nice and quiet like. I knew who it was. I knew exactly who it was. So I'm laying in bed, and I said, as soon as he sticks that head over with that ugly cowboy hat on, and goes like this, I'm shooting right through the wall. It was on TV, well, I'm shooting a 45, a slug's about that big. Studs, and it probably won't go through the wall. It probably really won't.
Right.
Made out of hard oak and whatever. So I said, shoot, I gotta get up and deal with this guy. So I took my flashlight, I put it over top of the gun just like they do on TV, and I'm standing up against the wall, and as soon as it hits that top step, maybe the one before, I'm rolling around, blinding the flashlight, and 3 in the chest. Well, safety's off, hammer back, he hits that top step, and I rolled around. There's nobody there. It was that realistic.
Wow.
Yeah, it's happened to me twice now.
Like here,
one
your
came
house
from
or
the
here?
attic, the other one came from up, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And both of them came to my door. This one would have probably had interrupted it. I still pat myself on the back. There's not 9 holes in the back wall.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why I didn't go around shooting. But I thought if it's somebody I knew playing a joke on me, yeah, 3 in the kneecap for that. But anyway, so yeah. So things got really realistic, and like I say, so many other stories that are so realistic, you don't know if what's happening is real or not till something strange happens, or it quits, or something's not there. So it can be, and that did scare. I knew, so I know I can shoot somebody now. I really do, because when I rolled around, finger was on the trigger to shoot.
Yeah. So this place is pretty. This place kind of has its own demeanor and its own kind of.
I don't know. I don't know if that was just coincidental or what, but yeah. But I only heard it one other time, and you'll see something like that happen on the Foreman Brothers one happened here. So,
okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, some of these things are pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to this today. Like after we wrap this interview up, you know, we're gonna go over there. I'm gonna take care of some stuff, some files, and then me and him will probably come over here with the other teammates, Lisa and all them, and we'll probably set up and start investigating. Then we're gonna split off and see, because people say that the sheriff here.
Split back and forth.
Because Lisa said that, or Eddie Norris also said that the sheriff, who was sheriff here in this jail, lived at the Monroe house and was using the basement for overflow of inmates.
I didn't know about that part, but I knew at one time that when they said the jail wasn't completed yet, and so he said he lived over there.
Mr. Saxon, John Saxon, or what's his name? Something.
It's on the list out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I should know that one since he's the first one to live here. But they lived here for 100 years.
Wow.
1877 to 1977. The sheriff that died of a heart attack, he was only sheriff for less than a month, and he died of a heart attack, and he was the first one not to live here. So, and he died in 1977. So, not stereotypic. If I'm supposed to see a guy always late 19th century with late 19th century clothes, you know, looking type people, and now this is modern day. That stuff usually doesn't happen. That's why I kind of thought, when I thought everybody sees a ghost, it's always, you know, in this short, you know, 1850s to 1880s or 90s, you know, this is really short window, but time-wise it's like this. And so I thought, ghosts? I don't know. Maybe if it is another dimension, that people in that dimension see people from the future.
Yeah.
That's their dimension. Who knows?
Yeah,
They may be watching us right now. I just saw a guy sitting in a black shirt. He was over there. You know.
And it makes you wonder, what are they doing? Like, you know, like when you're out investigating, it's like, it's kind of, honestly, you're not investigating them, they are investigating you. And that's
hoping they'll talk to you,
or scare you, depending on what their demeanor is.
Yeah, energy can't be created or destroyed, just changed, and
it rejuvenates, regenerates, and doesn't die.
Still here. It hasn't been, hasn't been expended.
Yeah, these walls. I mean,
these are granite.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? They said limestone's too soft. They must have saw that Shawshank Redemption movie.
Yeah.
No, they said even Indiana granite they didn't like. They went to Michigan in the 1870s. Quarried this in Michigan, brought it down here, and put this together. Look at the size of these slabs.
Yeah,
they're 8 inches thick. They must weigh tons.
If this place were to come down, that'd
have been a shame.
Yeah.
That'd have been a real shame. And so.
You can tell it's built to last. I mean.
Exactly. You keep a roof and windows in it. And this here, you probably have no roof, no window for several hundred years.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore's granite. And they said, is it coated? No. Well, does it go weather? Yeah, about 10,000 years when it weathers, 1/8 of an inch will They should have a coating or something
Yeah.
by then. So, yeah, yeah. Strong. So, ceilings, floors, and walls are all granite. And they put metal on this part, but in the rooms they're still granite, so, yeah.
We're looking forward to getting in here this afternoon after we wrap this up. We'll
Well,
probably
cool.
let you.
Best thing I can say
Mm-hmm.
for this place, and we learned it. We found it worked at incidentally, in the speakeasy, is talk in present tense. If it is another dimension, talk in present tense. Because over there at the speakeasy, we had a really good night going. Normally, you don't hear full names. You don't hear all this. This lady gave us a full name, said she died at the age of 19, and, or no, she is 19, sorry, excuse me. She is 19, and that she's going to get married, so she was engaged. All this stuff you never hear. And then one person goes, well, how'd you die? And this was going on all night, and that was it. Another peep out there. I think if somebody walked up to you and said, how'd you die? You know they're not being serious. Well, we tried it here, and just, gosh, I bet it was less than 3 months ago. No, I don't remember here or silent. Anyway, the guy goes something along that. What room were you in? Or what was your favorite meal? I said, that's present tense. Oh yeah, he goes, what room were you in? 212. Just like that. After he kept saying was.
Yeah.
What room are you in?
Yeah.
Then they answered. So if you talk, I don't know if all places are like that, or if you care less.
It's good tactics to use. I'm going to start doing
it.
that.
It seems to work, and we've had people come back and say, we've tried that elsewhere, and getting better responses. So.
Well, I appreciate that, man. That's going to be something we're going to definitely start working on and doing for sure. Because we're always trying to get the best responses, and I think it's how you word it is.
Yeah. Well, it's like trying a new meter, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd say our biggest claim to fame for the jail, though, is John Dillinger was in here. I wasn't a prisoner. He'd just gotten out of jail for been in 10 years, and he learned how to rob jails in prison. And bad story. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened to him, but he told his dad, he goes, time I get out, nobody's gonna want me. Ex-con, 30s, in his 30s. So he learned to rob banks too. And it doesn't say in his biography if he learned from the person himself or the actual looking it up in books. But they say, you go check out the bank, you know it better than the bank president. You go check out the local police department, you know it better than the sheriff. So when he came here, they said he was quite the card player. Because in the 30s, the early 30s, they were driving 4 and 6 cylinder. Well, he always stole the V8. So he knew he could outrun them.
Yeah.
And then if the oldest guy working, one retired in a couple of months, working second shift, well, you might think about robbing out second shift. They only had one sheriff working at a time. They did that clear when I was a kid. In fact, from midnight to 8, they didn't have anybody working. So maybe bank would have been open, but maybe they did that back then too. So
yeah.
So anyway, and then the Army was right across the street till recently. Till they tore that building down. They moved it on out, but that was the old Armory building. So who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, he came in. He stayed about 7 miles south of town when he was here. And when he went to rob it one day, there's a bunch of farmhands claiming to work their way through town, across country, and left their jobs one day. So.
Awesome.
Pulled up and jumped in a black Cadillac and they robbed the bank. So, just cool history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time, sir.
Right.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Yeah. Hope you have a good time tonight and whatever. Yeah, I like trying to pass that on to you about present tense. Hopefully.
Yeah. And as soon as we get this up, man, I'll make sure to let Kate know, and I'll throw some hashtags in there when I post it, so it shows up in your guys' algorithm for your sites and stuff like that.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan.
All right. Thank you.